hope that you guys had a very restful weekend. Hopefully had some time to kind of get outside and just kind of be social distancing with nature. Today we have Sam Wright with us, of course, of Farmer and Wright. And I know, Sam, we talked about it and you were out. I went out this weekend. Wasn't it just kind of nice just to kind of just take a breath and everything?
Yep. So I think everybody from Louisville all the way over to far western Kentucky had pretty great weather this weekend to take advantage of.
And so we're back again for Ask the Attorney again every Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. We're going to be visiting with you, just talking a lot about finances and COVID right now. And I think this weekend, I kind of stepped away from just kind of the news and everything. But the couple times that I was watching, there was finally kind of the financial reports, like what to do about your finances and everything. Sam, what would you recommend when it comes to kind of all those news stories and stuff? I mean, what should we listen? What is right? What is wrong?
Well, so there's lots of news reports right now about unemployment numbers and should you pay your rent, of things you should and shouldn't do. And what we wanted to focus on today is, when should I be thinking about possibly filing bankruptcy, like if I'm behind on certain bills or not? So I think those are the questions that we're really trying to answer today.
I think that's important in everything. I mean, with so many kind of news stories and of course, Facebook shares and social media out there right now, it's kind of getting to the actual source and everything. So that's kind of why we're doing these, is specifically to let you know that we're in an attorney's office and we're able to provide legal advice, and we understand the bankruptcy code and we know what you can and cannot do. And we're staying on top of I think every day we're asking, okay, what's happening with this bank or what's happening with this situation with different lenders and stuff. So
yeah. And what we want folks to know is we can give you the legal advice, right? So if you're reading stories about what's going on in the financial marketplace, what's going on with jobs, making car payments, getting behind on bills, we can give you the reality of it. We can tell you what the law is. We can give you what your options are, all by video, sitting right in your own home.
And that's right. Again, we are actively open. We're meeting with clients. We've already spoken to 2 people today that were thinking about it over the weekend. They gave us a call. We were able to get an attorney on the phone and have a video consult just like this. Again, you're able to maintain social distancing at the same point of getting your answers and protecting your finance, and really also protecting kind of that stimulus check that's coming out. And if you're facing unemployment, protecting those. I think a common misperception right now is, well, if I'm not working, the creditor can't do anything. And we're finding out that that's not the case, right?
Yeah. And so what I want folks to know is, even if let's say you're unemployed right now, for example, temporarily unemployed, and you've got a checking account and one of the credit card companies got a judgment against you, let's say a couple months ago. If your stimulus check gets deposited into your checking account and you have a judgment entered against you, it is possible the creditor could zap your bank account. Okay. So you got to be really careful about that. So a lot of people think, oh, well, they'll garnish my wages, and if I'm not working, they can't garnish anything. But what I want folks to realize is, if you have a judgment entered against you, I've had clients who are at Walmart trying to use their debit card and their account had been locked up because a creditor garnished their bank account. So, folks who are getting these stimulus checks that are coming up, remember, if you have a judgment against you or if you've got a creditor coming after you, you need to be very careful. You should really reach out to us for a consultation so we can talk to you about what your options are.
And I think that's the most important thing is right now, every kind of business is just seeing where they're at financially, and to think that lending institutions are kind of sitting back, I think that's a misconception that's out there. These are the people at this point that they want to get paid. And if they know that they have a judgment and they know what your bank account is, it might be coming.
Yeah. So there's some other things that we want folks to think about when they're analyzing, like, should I get a bankruptcy consultation? Should I talk to a lawyer? If you're behind on car payments, if you're behind on your car payment, if you're behind on your house payment, yes, you need to get a consultation with us by video. The second thing we've talked about earlier, if you have a judgment entered against you, yes, you need to have a consultation. All it's going to cost you is your time. And here is the third thing that I think is really important for folks. If finances are affecting your psyche, right? If they're affecting your ability to function, okay, if it's causing you stress, if it's causing you sleepless nights, if you're having relationship issues with your spouse because of your financial stress, get a bankruptcy consultation, okay? It doesn't mean you're going to file bankruptcy, but it's going to give you some different options. The lawyer can meet with you and give you your options of what you can and can't do to improve your situation. So that's the third category that I wanted to talk with people about is if it's affecting your day-to-day livelihood, your ability to enjoy your life, yeah, you need to get a consultation.
And that's actually really leads us to our very first question. Abby in Louisville said, how past due do I have to be with my bills? I feel like I'm overwhelmed and not having enough money to cover everything. When do I need to call you guys?
Yeah, so Abby, what you need to realize is you don't have to be late on bills in order to file a bankruptcy if a bankruptcy is necessary for you. So you don't have to be late. You don't have to be months and months behind. If you're juggling debt, if you feel overwhelmed, if you're burdened by debt, you need to have a consultation.
And I think you always say it best when you're talking to clients is that when you come and talk to us and you feel like you're spending too much money on interest, basically, if you're paying more interest than what the initial balance is, then that's probably a great time to come in and look at us when you're
yeah, because what most of my clients don't realize is those minimum payments they're struggling to make each month to just make the minimum. It's really not doing anything to the principal amount that you owe on the debt. It's just paying interest.
Absolutely. So Marcus from Paducah actually said, I'm being sued. Again, a common misperception of what's happening right now is that people feel like lawsuits aren't happening, but we're seeing them happen. He was served with papers last week. What are my options at this point? Do I have any options?
Yeah, so you absolutely have options. You do not need to be a victim and take no action in response to this. So you need to set up a consultation so that we can talk with you. For folks who've been served with lawsuits, if they've been served with wage garnishments, we can stop those with a bankruptcy. We can stop it. You will not have to deal with it anymore. But you got to make a video consultation appointment with us so that we can chat with you.
And I think even like on Friday, we were talking about client success stories where we had somebody who was a healthcare worker, of course, right now, somebody who does not need to deal with the stress getting served with something, someone else with a foreclosure. And I believe in both of those cases, we were able to get a case number within a 24 to 48-hour period. And that case number actually protects them, right, Sam, where they don't have to worry about those things any longer?
Yeah, so as soon as it doesn't take us, we're fully operational, as you said at the beginning of our Facebook Live, right? So we can do everything that we need to do right now. And you, as the client, you can stay in your own home. You don't have to come to our office. Once we file your bankruptcy petition, your creditors can't take any action against you. Okay, so that means they can't continue with a lawsuit. They can't continue with a wage garnishment. They can't zap your bank account and take money out, right? They can't take any of those steps after you file the bankruptcy. And we can get it done quick. We've got clients who really need help these days, and we're willing to work quickly for them.
Perfect. Last question, Sarah in Mayfield specifically asked that I don't think I have enough debt to file bankruptcy, but my debt, again, like you mentioned, it's just too much for me to handle.
Yeah.
What kind of dollar qualifications do we look for and those type of things?
So there is no dollar qualification to file for bankruptcy, right? So one amount of debt may be really high if you're a low income earner, right? If you're making it on the lower end of the spectrum. And for other individuals, they could have a boatload of debt and it's burdensome even though they make a lot of money. So the bottom line is there is no minimum amount of debt required to file a bankruptcy. That's part of the analysis that we run for you. We run an analysis to determine with the amount of income that you have coming in and the amount of debt that you have, are you a candidate for filing bankruptcy? Is it a good idea for you? And that's a financial analysis that we run during the consultation.
So you're saying sometimes too that we may recommend other options besides bankruptcy.
Sometimes. Yeah. There are instances where there are some different options that our clients will have versus filing bankruptcy. For us, filing bankruptcy is the last resort, right? Mm-hmm. It's the last thing that we want to do. We want to try to exhaust all options first, and we go through that during the consultation.
Perfect. So at this point, if you feel like you're overwhelmed, or sometimes even if you just feel like you're at that cliff and you're about ready just to be pushed over, I think now's the perfect time just to give us a call. Again, doesn't cost you to have anything, and in the comfort of your home, you can get answers and maybe get some relief and some stress reduction with everything right now.
That's right. That's right.
Perfect. Well, if you are interested in a video consult, just make sure that you send us a message, give us a call at our number listed on our page, send us a private message. If you know somebody who needs to hear this message, make sure you send it to them, send them as a private message. And heck, if you're even willing just to share it on your page, again, we're really just wanting to get the right information out there versus other information out there on their options. And then we'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. And give us a call though if you do need help, because the right time to file bankruptcy can be determined by case basis. So don't you determine it, allow us to determine it, right, Sam?
That's right.
All right, perfect. We'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.